sunset tonight. I don't have a job to find. Live far away tonight. I'm so tired tonight. I fall asleep when I'm home.
All right, folks, here we go. Topside Tuesday. We got championship week here tonight, and I know we trounced some champs last night in the Coast to Coast Racing League in the Renegades class. Now we're going to do it here in the Pro Late Models as we're going to swing this thing over. The heat race number one. I want to appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been a good season so far. That's Flatline Racing Bodies heat race number one. Quality Racing Bodies produced by a former NASCAR regional short track champion, Dan Chapman. He's in the iRacing hotbed there at Clarence, Iowa. Well, let's look at the grid real quick. As we got Kurt Shatner, who is trying to run down the points leader of Patrick Spangler. We'll see what he gets. He got a good pill draw here. Gary Landis going to start in second. Jeff Sharp there in third. Brandon Templeton fourth. Dak Chapman in fifth. Jeffrey Barker there in sixth. And Joseph Grandy's going to start in seventh. And we talked about this here, Corey. What the pill draw all year long. There's no qualifying, so sometimes, you know, you get a good one, sometimes you don't. And Spangler has not got the luck on the pill draw like most of these other guys.
No, he has not, and you know, with this track being as narrow as it is, and is really small, it's only a little under a 3/8 mile. It's 0.33 miles. What is that? 0.3 of a mile?
I know what you said.
1/3 of a mile. My bad.
You're the dirt expert, man, up here. So.
I'm not a fraction expert.
Oh, well, yeah, hey, you know, sometimes math's hard for me too. So
it's a 1/3 mile track. So here we go.
That's small, yeah. You're small. It's like a bull ring, man.
Oh yeah.
But here you're right. Schatzer right now. I'm gonna tell you what. Now, you know, we don't want to give the championship up to Spangler yet as we go green flag here in Heat Race 1. But what he needs to do is what he's doing right now. He needs to get out here, start on pole, and then Spangler needs a very good start. You talked about it a little bit. We didn't get to talk too much in the pre-race because they switched over on, but right now, what is it, 6, 7 positions that could separate them in the points?
It is 6 spots that Kurt has to finish ahead of Patrick Spangler in the feature. And that's not including bonus points or penalty points. That is just straight up on track. Kurt needs to finish 6 spots ahead to lock up a championship. And Spangler in the opposite, he has to keep Kurt within 5 spots.
Right, absolutely. Schatzer, Templeton. You got Landis right here along with it. Landis is back in third, and Zach Chapman. A white flag one more time. Schatzer's got to hang on. Will Templeton have anything for him in the final 2 turns? I don't think so. I think it's going to be all Schatzer, and if so, he's going to put it out on pole. And this next heat race, which we don't know who's in it yet, we'll know here in a second. If it's Spangler, then Spangler needs to win that heat race to get on that front row here with him. But here we go, and yes, he is. And starting 4th, so he's got a little work. But Langdon Mechanical, heat race 2. Langdon Mechanical, they're second to none, man, when it comes to heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area. And the promise to their customers, going to have their own professional Langdon specialists. They're one step of the way all the time with them. Definitely check out Langdon Mechanical. Let's look at the grid, as it's really going to be points here, as you got Jeffrey Kemper out front. Dan McLaren there in second. Bob DeGood third. Patrick Spangler, he's got that points lead, so he needs to come out of this one with a very good finish to stay right there with Kurt Shatner. Pat Boyce going to be in 5th. John Krupa there in 6th, and Randy Shreve starting in 7th. So I'm going to say that Spangler's going to have to just put it all here on the line and try to get to that front. He cannot afford to get knocked back to the back on this one. Although he still wouldn't be that far away from Schatzer, it's still, you don't want to make it hard for you going into the feature.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, Joe? Another thing is if he starts midfield, there's a bigger chance of picking up some incident points, and every incident point is 1 point deduction. So could make things a little bit harder if you start midfield and rack up a couple of incidents.
Well, right now, it looks like John Krupa decided he's going to just wait till the feature and see what he can do in the back. As Spangler, that moves him up to 3rd here. And we've seen time and time again, I mean, Spangler's been able to come through the field. But at this point, he's got to be careful. I mean, even coming out of here in 3rd, that's not too bad. He wouldn't have that bad of a starting position in the feature. But like you said, those incident points could play a huge one, especially now Schatzer sitting on the pole. He's going to be out front controlling that field on the feature. So we'll have to see what happens here. It could be interesting. You don't want to count out old Spangler. And the most important part, impressive part of this whole championship run, he hasn't won a race yet, so he'd love to cap the night off with a win.
Absolutely. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Jeffrey Kemper, not as good of a start as Dan McLaren on the high side, but look here down the back straightaway. Kemper on the bottom, trying to pick up the grip, and McLaren all the way up. Here comes Spangler, looking for a second on the bottom. Almost thought about going 3 wide for the lead there momentarily. Spangler does get around Dan McLaren for second. So Spangler in second, Kemper out front, McLaren rides in third.
Yeah, they're right there in the single file. You know, what I want to see is I want to see these guys race around these. I know they understand that these guys are running for points, but I'm a firm guy on, and you still got to race these guys. You still want to win. You still want to come out here and do what you're doing. Spangler right now, my question is, does he press the issue here? I mean, if he gets the opening, sure, go for the lead, but does he press it? Does he get himself into trouble? I mean, he's pretty comfortable riding in that second place spot.
Right now, I mean, he's so far back, I wouldn't even attempt to do anything drastic to make a move unless Kemper were to somehow slide up the track, which right now Kemper looking nice and smooth. White flag. Oh, that's a mistake that Spangler didn't need.
No, and I think, man, if McLaren was a lot closer, that might have been a mistake that knocked him to third. But all in all, not a bad come out here for Spangler. He'll have a pretty good start spot in a feature, like you said. Kemper, though, going to win it. Heat race 2. That's going to throw us in a warm-up, folks. We'll be right back here in just a few.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
All right, folks, here we go. Feature time, and we're about to crown some champs here. Can Spangler hold on here tonight, or can Schatzer pull off a miracle? We got it. Our Super Dirt Car Series line up here. They got the beast from the Northeast, and I'm going to tell you, my ground pounding, earth shattering, window rattling. Check it out. Super Dirt Car Series lineup. Let's look at it real quick. As Dirt Shatner, like we said, is going to be the man out front. He's got, for the most part, he's the man that's probably got nothing really to lose here. and everything to game. Kemper's going to start in second, Templeton there in third. Spangler starts in fourth. He's probably the one that has everything to lose. He comes in here with a points lead, and he's going to want to try to make up some points or at least stay where he's at and keep Schatzer right there close. Does not want to get into trouble, though. Terry Landis starting fifth, McLaren sixth, Boyce seventh, Sharp eighth, Randy Shreve starting at ninth, Zach Chapman 10th, Bob DeGood 11th, Baker there in 12th, and Grandy starting at 13th. So even with only 13 cars, Spangler's not out of the hot water, so to speak. You know, he could lose, get into trouble. Talked a little bit about it there in the warm-up of we want these guys to race around them. We don't want them just because they're in a points lead say, oh, okay, yeah, I might be as fast as you are, but I'll just go ahead and move out the way and let you go. No, you're here to win. You got to do it. Now, I know Schatzer's not going to. He's going to want to win this thing, but people might see Spangler and think, oh, yeah, I don't want to mess him up. Hey, make it tough on him.
Make it easy. Make it hard. Exactly. Make him earn it. Because Spangler, he has to finish seventh if he wants to lose this thing.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Pace Truck 10, green flag. Final time here for the Topside Tuesday here tonight. It has been an Extreme ETV one. And it's been extreme. You already see Spangler back here in the back. He's trying to, you said he needs to hit that high side, that low line has not came in, that the high side's where he needs to be. The problem is everybody else is up there.
Yeah, they were burning off that high side around this racetrack. That's 1/3 of a mile track. And the warm up, the bottom may come in. You see Spangler, he's heading it real deep on the bottom, just not able to keep the momentum up. He's right where he needs to do, not hit the wall though. There's an opening on the back stretcher. You were like a guardrail gate. If you hit that real nice and square, it can launch your car around that 39 machine. Spangler has heavy damage.
That battle up front here, Corey. You will see Templeton give a hard time to Schatzer. Schatzer's going to drive that thing as hard as he possibly can. Now, you know, we see Spangler back here going low. You mentioned that. That's probably the only option he's got because, you know, Kemper's not going to come off that high side unless he makes a mistake. And, I mean, and rightfully so. But right now, Schatzer, man, fighting for his life up front.
Yeah, Templeton utilizing the bottom a little bit better than what Spangler's done right behind those two. Spangler just right now, bottom will come in, but Spangler isn't hitting it like he should right there. That's how he needs to hit turn 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, he is a little bit too high up. He's in the slick through the middle of the corner. It's making him spin his tires. You see him now go into the slick. I'm not sure why he would do that. I would personally go high side 3 and 4, bottom 1 and 2.
What do you see in the difference between what Templeton's doing and what Spangler's doing? You see Templeton is running that bottom lane, but he's actually making ground.
Yeah, he's further down the track than what Spangler is. He's hitting the tacky on the exit of the corner.
Good run right now. He's giving Schatzer all he can, and Schatzer's not going to give up. Kemper right there, but as of right now, if it stays like it is, Spangler will walk out of here as the champ. He, you know, I mean, and this is kind of, at some point, Spangler's got to think the big picture. If I can't get around these guys, I'm safe where I'm at.
Absolutely. Spangler right now safe for the championship, riding in the 4th position. Schatzer, he has to get around Templeton and lead a couple of laps. Oh my, they got real close right there, real dicey. Schatzer almost got pinched up to the wall. He was officially scored your race leader though.
Yeah, look at this battle behind him back here around. We got a good one for 5th and 6th. Also Sharp and McLaren back here.
They sharpen that dirt vision machine on the middle groove. McLaren in the all-white car. Randy Shreves in the white car with some gold highlights on it. That's a beautiful looking paint.
Yeah, nice. Was a red line on or something? Red line? Red line designs. Yeah.
Yep.
Red line designs. That's nice. I like that. You know, we just can't get enough of up front here. It's Templeton and Schatzer, and this is what I like to see. I alluded to it here before the race started. These guys racing, and right now they're racing clean. They're racing good. Spangler back there understands, man, I'm not as fast as them. Not on this track. Maybe I just need to sit back here.
Yeah, and right now Spangler has a good lead over Jeff Sharp in 5th. Give him about maybe 3/4 of a second every so often. Drops down to about 6/10.
Crazy stuff so far. These guys, man, are definitely hanging out. Schatzer, man, takes the lead. Templeton falls right behind him, not able to do anything. Kemper's hanging on the third. Everybody goes back up to that wall ride on the cushion. You got Spangler. Now Spangler's actually dropping off a little bit back into Sharp. This is not what he wants to do unless Templeton obviously gets around Schatzer. But if Schatzer wins this thing and Templeton falls back here into Sharp and Shreve's, lap, he might be in more trouble because it looks like Spangler's struggling on this track.
Yeah, Sharp is actually running a little bit quicker than Patrick Spangler, but, and I know it's a whole lot harder to make the pass. You can catch the guy, but passing is a different thing. And if you're Spangler right now, I'm not sure if I'd be running that outside line like he is. And we got
caution.
Caution. Solid dog caution.
Barker, yeah. Let's go to Malcolm Mills replay. See, Jeffrey Barker, Zach Chapman, unfortunately, two getting involved. In the back here, man, Rumley got the Marine Machine. We just come off Memorial Weekend. Oh! And it looked like, man, Jeffrey Barker, Zach Chapman just bounced off the wall. Barker was just wrong place, wrong time. Ooh, I tell you. But, yeah, hey, real quick, I'd appreciate everybody here. C2CRL.com. Check it out. Coast to Coast Racing League for letting us come up here to OSR Network to bring all this action to you. It's awesome out there. Been a great season here to Topside Tuesday here, the E-Extreme ETV, man, Topside Tuesday. Lucy Olson and Mission 22. We got the trucks coming up after this. It's been a great season, but I got to give a shout out. We just come off Memorial Day weekend. Yesterday was Memorial Day. Give a shout out to our fallen Marines, our fallen military service members who took the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to have the freedom to be able to enjoy stuff like this in a great United States. So definitely, man, go back, honor those. And I hope you had fun on Memorial Day. Great weekend of racing, although the Coca-Cola 600 did get postponed to Monday on Memorial Day. It would have ran Sunday, but, had Monaco, we had Indy 500, and we got a great dirt track race about to happen here. Kurt Schatzer out front. Can he hang on?
See him, they all go to the bottom side. So Sharp was the only one running on the bottom. Now Sharp is going to look on the high side. I think he might have found the grip strip right there. If he can hit the same line, can he get around Spangler? Spangler may be struggling a little bit here late in the going. Yes, he does. He gets around him.
Oh, this could be bad business for Spangler. I think he's still safe in fifth like he is. But he needs maybe Schatzer out front to fall back one position just so he can 100% be safe. But I think right now, if he stays in fifth, he might be okay. We don't 100% know, but I'm going to say, 98%. I'm going to say 98%.
I'm going to agree with you right there. Should be safe riding in fifth, even if
that's what
Schatzer was going to get bonus points, and yeah, exactly. He wants to get right back around Jeff Sharp, or at least hang right there in case there is a mishap in the point calculation.
Look at Schatzer. He falls a second and actually loses ground to Templeton. So I don't know what happened up front there, but yeah, this right here, we talked about this too, time and time again as we're coming up here to the final closing laps. We only got 2 to go. We're going to white flag real quick. We've talked about it. You get out front, you dominate for a while, caution comes out, throws you all off rhythm-wise, and I think that's what's happened to Schatzer. He has done everything he can do, and that car's just not doing it. White flag one more time, Corey.
Oh my, this is getting anxiety-inducing. As long as Spangler does not hit the wall, he's good. He gets by the definitely trap of the gate on the backstretch, but it's all going to be Templeton picking up the win. Schatzer second, Kemper third, and Spangler will come home in fourth and be your pro late model champion.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he pretty much wrapped it up there. Schatzer did everything he could do tonight to win this thing, to put it out there. Spangler out there just surviving, doing what he could do. I don't think this was one of the best tracks for Spangler. We've seen him dominate a lot in the pro late models, but I think this track really made him struggle. It's a bull ring style track. To me, it looked like, at one point, it looked like what you talked about, a high side track, and then it became a low side track. Seen that several times, but I tell you what, bring up old Brandon Templeton up here. I'll get a word with him. Brandon, join the booth.
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you battled up there. I like to see it, man. Even though they were going for points, you definitely want to cap this thing off with a win. You did here for the Topside Tuesday to close out the season. How was the track, though? Was it more dominant top or dominant low?
Well, I really liked it low there, for the first half. And the only reason I went high last 5 laps is because Kurt was low. And, it's one of those deals. If you follow him, you're not going to pass him. So just went where they weren't, and it kind of started sticking and started getting to run. And so, that kind of wrote the story of it there.
Man, I'll tell you what, like you said, came out of it. Awesome battle with Schatzer up there. But, hey, you came out, won this thing, season finale. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank. Those guys have been going all over racing late models and following their own series that they're sponsored and supporting in real life. So they're working hard, but, we're out here promoting them, and it's kind of fun to be a part of a team that does so much real racing like that. I got to thank Joe with Got Your Six Racing Network, everything Joe Halter does giving back, Mission 22 and remembering the veterans and kind of special Memorial Day after a couple days after. So cool deal. Got to thank the guys at Hammer Down Racing, Kurt, Brian, Joe. We talk a lot, help each other a lot. Really cool deal. Big C's Lawn Care, Extreme Images, Melee's Makery. Everyone watching at home, you for putting on the stream, and everyone at Coast to Coast for putting on the league. Thanks.
I'll tell you what, Brandon, there you go. Congratulations on capping off the season with a good win.
Thanks.
There we go. That's Brandon Templeton. What a good win. Well, let's bring the man up who came in second, who did everything he could do for he just maybe come up just a little bit short. Kurt Shatner.
Hey, Kurt, you get a copy on me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, man, second in the race and second in the points, unfortunately, but good season overall for you. Just talk us through this race and your overall season.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good season. I really wasn't trying to follow the points too much this year. I mean, it just worked out that I was up close to the front towards the end, but I mean, towards this race here, it's all how you qualify, get through the heat races, and to have any really good shot to win, you got to at least start up in the first 2 rows. So I did that. I was hitting my marks all right. I felt pretty fast there, and I didn't need that late race yellow there. I mean, me and my teammate there, Templeton, I think we put on a pretty good race there. I think we were side by side for most of the race there. So, I mean, it was a fun one.
Absolutely, you were doing pretty good up on the high side, up on the bottom. You got anybody to thank tonight, though?
Yeah, I got to thank Jay over with Dirt Track Bank. He does a lot to support dirt track racing all around the country. I got to thank Joe Halter with Got Your Six Racing Network. Got to thank the team there, Hammer Down Racing, with Brandon Templeton and Brian Dickens, and congratulate their BT for getting a win there. He wasn't going to show me no love there and let me win that one there and help out with the points or anything like that. But now we all race hard here, and we all have fun. And yeah, Roger Preston giving us a place to race, and you guys up there in the broadcast, you do an awesome job. I love watching it back every week. So, and everybody watching at home.
There you have, folks. That's your second place driver in 218, Kurt Schatzer.
Absolutely, man. Did everything he could do, man, all night long. Just a little bit short, but let's bring up Jeffrey Kemper, who came in third, and hopefully old Patrick Spangler jumps up here, man, our champ, so we can get a word with him, but I'll let you get a word with Kemper.
Hey, Jeffrey, you get a copy on me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, third here in the Pro Late Model season finale at Peevely. Just talk us through your race and how you're able to accomplish a podium.
Well, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. I was just telling Brandon and Kurt that I'm pretty sure they were running side by side, and Patrick and I side by side for probably pretty close to 15 laps there, and couldn't really find any room to gain ground. There's a couple times I closed in when Schatzer made a mistake, but Emmett Templeton just kept pulling away. I could hold off Patrick, but definitely couldn't catch up to those guys.
Absolutely. You know, we've seen the track form up. It started out on the high side, went to the bottom for a little bit after the restart, and then back up to the top maybe the last couple of laps. How does that affect how you enter the corners and how you drive this racetrack?
Yeah, they're definitely a lot different entry to them. You know, if you're going to run the high side, you got to be real careful. It's getting slick up there, and your tires just went turning and push you right into the wall. So had to slow down enough there and not get on your wheel too much, be able to to make the corner, but down on the inside, you could drive it in a little bit harder and kind of kick it sideways and try to hug that wall there, and then you had pretty good grip patch coming off of the corners down low.
Absolutely. Well, man, you got anybody like to thank here for your outstanding performance in this season?
Yeah, I got to thank Gambler Motorsports, Cool Ray, Heating and Plumbing and Air Conditioning. I got to thank Aiden Young from Young Gun Creations, Lynn Gear Company, and family and friends.
Yeah, folks, that's the 181, Jeffrey Kemper.
Absolutely, did a good job here. Well, let's bring this guy up here who held on, was able to pull it in a championship. Spangler, join the booth. Got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Well, you were able to hang on, but I got to ask, how nervous was you there coming in? You seeing how Schatzer was running this track?
I know Schatzer, Kemper, and Templeton, I mean, coming in the season, they're by far the best, and Speeds is the best late model drivers in the league. And I wanted to run the late models in big blocks and try to give it a good run, because I never run a full season. And I just, I hate driving these cars, like the slide jobs. I'll never do a slide job on these, because I never feel comfortable. But, where's I going with that? I just drive defensive and just try to stay out of the wrecks, and they get just caught up in a couple more wrecks. But tonight he had the pole position in the heat race. I start fourth, and then in the feature, like the bottom was faster on that last caution. So I went to the bottom, and then Jeff Sharp passed me on the high side, and I saw Schatzer suddenly. I was like, man, that's 5 spots. If I get a 2x, that takes out 7 points there in the bonus points. So I was like, man, I got to get moving. So I went back up to the top, was able to get back around him, and then Templeton got around him. So I felt a little safer, but it was pretty nerve-wracking the entire night.
Oh, no doubt. Well, all season long, and what makes it more impressive, because a lot of people know racing, consistency wins championships. It's amazing you have not won a race, though, this series in the late models here on the Topside Tuesday, but consistency has paid off, and you showed it tonight by being consistent up front, being able to pull it off. Got it here for the E-Extreme ETV Topside Tuesday. You're the champ, man, Spangler. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just you and Corey for always the awesome broadcast each week. Rod for running the league. Trent Wheels Racing. Dad, Uncle back on watching. Wife let me race out each night. And just my steering wheel for not letting me get in all those wrecks this season. So, yeah, hopefully I can get the big block one on Thursday. I'm behind in that one, though, but hopefully I can pull it off.
I've never heard anybody thank their steering wheel, but there you go. That's the first for me. But hey, congratulations on the championship there, Patrick.
All right, thanks.
There we go. Well, Corey, I tell you what, hang on to it, because we're going to NASCAR side, asphalt that is. We got some pickup trucks to deal with and another championship there tonight. Well, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back here in just a few. All right, folks, here we go. We got our E Extreme, and this right now, we got the Lucy Olson Mission 22 Topside Tuesday pickup trucks again. Now, some more champs here tonight. See what we got. It's going to be a good one. And Gateway, we were just talking about it. The last time I ran, and maybe somebody out there in the chat can chime in. We were seeing if Fish Cannon was around too, and to jump up here. But the last time I raced Gateway, you had to shift in the turns here. I'm not sure if you still have to with the setup how it is now, because Corey, even on Pocono, you don't have to going into turn one shift if you don't want to. They changed the setup there. Used to, I know it was a must. You shifted down to well, it was only 4 speed cars, so you shifted into third. It was a must. But then over time, gearing and setup, and I think they repaid the track, you didn't have to. So, not quite sure here tonight either.
Well, last time I ran here, I probably didn't do any good, so shifting wouldn't have helped anyways, even if it was a thing.
Shifting wouldn't have helped.
It can only help the good guys.
The last race I did here was a league race, and man, we're talking years back when I first started. I remember I started in the back because this is a pretty tough track. Gateway is not an easy track to get around. It is considered a short track, a lot bigger than what we just off of, but it's a very tough style track to get around. And how I did it was I worked with a guy named Enders. Me and him worked around this place, and we were in the trucks. We started in the back. There was about 32 trucks out there that started. I ended up finishing 9th, and I think he finished in a little higher in the top 10 because we just avoided all the wrecks. We rode in the back most of the time. I wasn't even trying to press the issue. I knew I wasn't going to win, but I wanted to come out with a good finish, and lo and behold, there you go. And you see right there in practice, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. This place coming out of the turns, it is going to be slick. When you get back, I don't know if you've raced, not North Wilkesboro, but New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a track where if you get back on the throttle too soon, you will bring that rear end around. But it looks like here we go. We're going qualifying here tonight. Lucy Olson and Mission 22 here for the Topside Tuesday season finale. Talked about it, Corey. Points. Sean Grace has got it. Wetzel, though, he's not that far off of it.
Well, Wetzel is actually 53 points behind, and looking at how they calculate points,
yeah, that was.
You'd need
we were up there doing that Common Core, man.
You would need at least a good 19 trucks, and Grace would have to finish last, and Wetzel win. So, pretty much, and if we don't have any weird bonus points or penalty points after this race, Sean Grace has locked it up. I'm going with that. That's what I'm going with. Give it to Sean Grace, at least.
True. Barring any disaster out here, I'm gonna say I don't like giving it to a guy until it's over with. But coming in here, he's probably got a little bit more padding than what Spangler had. Spangler could have got into trouble and, lost it very easily. So, yeah, when you talk about asphalt as opposed to, the dirt, I think he's looking pretty good. But, Corey, after this one, we got one more night at the Hometown Heroes. And that, I know you're new to the Hometown Heroes. I remember when it first started. It's awesome because they picked the one track. It's almost like your home track. Mine would be, Charlotte Dirt Track down in Concord. So, it would be a home-style track that you'd go to week in and week out. And that's how they do it. But we got 305, 360, 410 wing sprints tomorrow. Dirt side of things, Crown of Champs. And then we got the car tours, late models there. We're going to crown a champ. So, it's going to be an interesting night there also. And then Thursday night, check it out, c2crl.com. And more championships there as we cap off the week. I think they have Friday. Again, check it out at c2crl.com to get all the information you need there. It's been a good season. I'm ecstatic. Looking forward to what iRacing is bringing in Week 13. I know a huge change for dirt. They're bringing a track called Willow Springs in the mix.
Yes, they are. They should release Willow Springs, and that was one of the tracks that were originally supposed to be on the service back in 2007.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it took them a long time, so hey.
I mean, that's 16 years.
Yeah. Well, big changes with the dirt side. Finally, they're going to get their tire model that they've got and some track updates, weathering and so forth on it. So it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of these series are fixed here, except I think for the Renegade series, which is the main one on Monday nights. But for the most part, most of them are fixed. But even with that, Corey, by running here on the asphalt side, which they've had a tire model for the longest time, it's going to be a lot different how you drive those dirt cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to change the game up. And, with them changing how dirt reacts, it's going to help them figure out rain and help them figure out on the dynamic track more on the asphalt side of thing, like here in the trucks or Cup or whatever you prefer. Yeah.
By them doing that on dirt, will the guys who have been running custom setups have an advantage over guys that haven't?
It's gonna be about the same, I'm sure.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna change how you gotta drive the car for sure, and I'm sure it's gonna change the whole physics for cars.
Hey, blame me. I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to see. That's coming next season. But let's look at the grid real quick. As Brad Wetzel won't be the man out front in this one here. As like we just said, he needs it. Sean Gray's going to start there in fourth. 13 machines. I'm still saying if Sean Grace gets in trouble, he could still have a shot to lose this title, because we talk about bonus points and penalty points could come into play here.
Yeah, I mean, so you get a penalty point, 1 point per incident that you get.
Okay.
And then bonus points, you get 2 for leading a lap. You get 5 for a pole position, which Brad Wetzel, 5-point bonus point there. Yeah. And then you get a few points for leading the most.
Y'all smell the smoke, Corey, over there?
Kinda.
He's got his socks off too, man.
Okay.
Over there counting.
5 points for leading the most laps.
I mean, here's the thing. We'll say the same. As long as Sean Gray stays right there near where Wetzel is, I think he's got it wrapped up. But if he gets into any trouble, it could be doomsday here. Bottom line, Wetzel has to come out of here like Schatzer and try to pretty much just win this thing. Do every possible thing he possibly can. And starting on the pole is not a bad start.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of calculated maybe. So Wetzel has to lead most laps. He has the bonus points for pole. should get a bonus point for leading a lap at least. Sean,
How many wins has he won this season? I don't have the stat thing up. So
Wetzel hasn't won. Sean has won 2.
and that is wild. I mean, I look at, you know, everybody's always about, well, you got to win. No, consistency wins championships. I mean, look at it. Even though we're talking about, you know, still Grace out front who has won, Wetzel right there in second still has the possibility to win this thing, and we just saw Spangler do it without winning one, so it's doable. But here's another thing. Wow. Chapman, Parmalee, and Lawrence. Either they're starting this thing in the pits because they did not grid, but that could be another helping hand to Grace.
Well,
I know we got some EOLs. I do know that, so I have to look at the pit notes.
those names are not on the penalty board.
Okay, well then, yeah, that definitely helps out. But here we go, Mission 22 restart zone. And Lucy Olson green flag's about to fly for the final time here for our Topside Tuesday pickup trucks. Here we go, Gateway style. This is a short track. You don't want to, you get in trouble real quick here going these turns. And I don't know if I'm going to give this first lap to Wetzel or not.
Oh, and we got a Saudi dog caution already. A couple cars at the back.
Thompson.
It's Thompson.
Thompson. Peter.
Off it.
Oh, just looks like he had to check up. Truck in front of him, not sure who that was, had to check up in front, and unfortunately got up into Thompson there.
That was Krupa.
Krupa. Alpha Mills replay. And that's just this track might not look. You might think this track don't look too bad. It's big. It's got a little banking to it. Folks, I'm gonna tell you what. This track, it's tough to get around. It is. It's one of those tracks where you look at it, Corey, and you go, that ain't nothing. Till you get on it and race it, and you're like, holy cow, this place is like loose. You know, you think you could drive it into the turn, wrong. You think you could drive it off the turn, wrong. It's like, wow, it's misconceiving.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see, like, it has a little bit of banking in each corner, but with all the speed you carry down the straightaway.
It's like that banking. It's like I don't know. You know, the other week we were talking about that on one of the short tracks, how the banking might help. You know, but it's like this place, that banking just really don't help it. I don't know why. It's crazy.
Well, I was trying to figure out when Gateway got released on iRacing, but I can't find the page I seen that on one day, and
it had to be.
I give up.
Back in 2015, it had to be before that because I raced it back in 2015-16.
Okay, yeah,
it's been a while, but they might have redone it. Might have been a rescan. That's what I was saying. I'm not sure since then, but yeah, that's how long ago since it's been. I've been in 2016 because I league raced. I raced before I broadcast. Yeah, so it's been here for a while. I think it's been rescanned. I swear this place was a lot flatter.
Yeah, I thought it was way flatter, at least in turn 3 and 4, than it is.
That's why I'm asking maybe the difference now, but maybe we can find information. Somebody out there know. Wait a minute. Lawrence, sorry guys, I had to drop. Just found out my cousin. Oh man, I hate to hear that, dude. Hey, our thoughts and prayers to that. Man, his cousin just passed away. So, Dole Lawrence, man, that's, man. We'll definitely keep that thoughts and prayers there. Definitely don't want to see anybody, man, have any family members definitely passing away, so. Hate that, Dole, man. Take care of that. Hey, real life stuff trumps anything. There you go. I've said that many a times, but yeah, I mean, if anybody knows, has this place been rescanned? hasn't been redone in over the years. I know, like I say, back in about 2016, I swore this place was a little bit flatter than what it was. I can Google it here while Corey yells at the screen.
Well, I know one thing. They changed up the name from Gateway to Worldwide Technology Raceway. But we're going to go Gateway. We're going to call it Gateway because that's what everybody knows it as, and that's what it still has on the logo.
Green, green, green.
There we go. Mission 22 restart zone. Lucy Olsen green flag out once again. Lap number 5. Wetzel. They'll pull up there into the lead in front of Steven Goldner. Goldner in the black truck. Sean Grace, your points leader, riding in third right now. He's in the Red Bull. Number 27.
Yeah, Wetzel's trying to hang on, but Goldner, he's going for that lead.
And he shot it down in there, made it nice and smooth over Wetzel, so moves Steven Goldner to the lead. Wetzel in second, Sean Grace still in third, Jason Hand fourth, and Jack Clevenger in fifth.
Okay. Did find out a little bit, and this is these guys are kind of single file. Let's read into it. Back in 2017, it would have been right after I'd raced it. It said Gateway Motorsports Park in Madison, Illinois is when as a launch a major capital improvement project designed to improve the race day experience of the fans, enhance the competition and everything. Third phase of the plan implemented in 2012 to completely update and upgrade the venue. So they did resurface it. Let's see. So June 27th, the 20-year-old asphalt is completely removed from the 1.25-mile oval. The project began immediately following the completion of the NASCAR Camping World Trucks. On June 17th, the track will undergo a race condition process used at other various venues in mid-July. The process will condition the track to be race ready. The new surface will be used for an IndyCar test in August. Okay, so it has been redone. The whole track has been redone. So it kind of answers our question there that basically, yeah, this is not the same track that I'm used to racing on here, but man, I tell you what, right here you go. Sean Grace not giving up as he goes around Wetzel. He falls to third, but kind of answered our question here. So this is a totally new track. Maybe I might want to get out here one day and race around it and see how it races as opposed to the way it was. Like I said, how I knew it, very, very tough place to get around.
Okay, I was a rookie when I last drove. Probably.
okay. Fair enough. All right. Wetzel's
I don't want to
third.
race on.
Well, it's not. You know what? Here I'm looking at it right now. Right along here on inside here, the cockpit with Grace. Again, when I raced, you had to shift. I don't see you shifting with this bank. Actually, I take that back. John Grace just shifted. Coming out of that turn 2. He's going into turn 3 right now. We're on board with him. Down to 5,000 RPMs. Let's see. To see the RPMs, the only way we can tell is to watch the RPMs jump. He gets her up to 7. He didn't shift coming out of 4. Let's see what he does 1 and 2. 1 and 2, he's up to 7,000. Yep.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he did shift in 1 and 2. Okay, so the shifting is still there. And people might think, well, why would he? Why? Well, the problem it looks like in 1 and 2 is the RPMs are dropping down to 4,000, 3,400 RPMs, maybe around 4,500, which is too low, and you won't get that run off the turn.
Yeah, but another thing that does is it chews up the tires a little bit more as you're putting down the power. You got to be easy on the throttle up, and I mean, you see right there, the car in front of him just washes up the racetrack as Sean Grace is able to hang in the middle of the turn.
Yep. Grace definitely trying to see if he can't close in the Goldner. You got Jason Hand, who had a heck of a race, man, the other week. Back and forth. Clevenger hanging on back here to 5th. Galante, I said it right, back there in 6th. Well, Roger Craig had a 3rd place finish in 747 machine. Well, struggling a little bit, but he's up 5 spots.
Well, he's about to get past here. He does by Peter Thompson. Okay, that's a lap car.
Yeah.
He's about to get
him.
passed by Krupa, though. And Krupa, never mind, he went all the way up to the top of the track. Now Krupa under pressure from Mike Cranmer. Cranmer in the default iRacing looking paint.
And that's the dad of Preston Kramer. Unless Preston's actually driving. That is the dad of Preston Kramer.
All right.
Well, Offit, he's back here hanging in the 10th. Thompson, he's back here in 11th. Lawrence, remember he's out of it. Unfortunately, we just heard cousin passing away. Hate to see that. Meanwhile, leader, Goldner out front. Grace trying to hang on. As long as Grace just stays where he's at, he's got the championship wrapped up. Wetzel's doing what he can to hang on to third. Jason Hands, another one. Very patient at Charlotte. This guy was kind of just bided his time, seeing what he could do, and I think that's what he's doing here.
It definitely looks like he's taking his time, riding in the same tracks as everybody else in front of him. Lap 14 in the book.
Too.
Yeah.
He shifted more out of the turn when he got straight, and there he goes. Actually, he shifted going in. In there, 3, he's coming out. See, that's what I just saw right there, and that's really what you want, because if you shift too soon coming out of that turn, you're going to bring that rear end around. You need that rear end. You need it pointing straight before you yank it back up into that gear. And what I'm seeing right now, look at him. Boom. Right there, he shifted. Of course, about way down the straightaway that time, but wait until that truck gets straight. It's an art form. I'm going to tell you, you got to be mindful.
Joe's thinking about this track now for our one-on-one that he wants us to do.
Right, yeah.
Because he knows I can't shift.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, yeah, I got him now. Well, I mean, in a late model, you're not going to.
Boy.
Ish Cannon says he could come up. Here we go. We'll bring up Ish Cannon, man, up here. He can give us some insight. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, man?
Well, yeah, we got Corey up here this week, but we were just talking about Gateway and all the things here. Good little battle happening here for a second, but I see they're still shifting at this track, even though this place underwent a huge remodeling, because the last time I raced here was back about 2016. It was the old style track, and I was, this place here could be really treacherous. Doesn't look as slick as what it once was. So they've probably really redone this place.
Yeah, I think the last time I ran on it in the sim, at least, it was actually more tight than it was loose. I think if I remember correctly, the 3 and 4 was loose off, and then 1 and 2 was tight in. I was watching some people run last night, and they were shifting.
Still are tonight.
Yeah, they were shifting in 1 and 2, and not shifting in 3 and 4. That's kind of what it looks like they were doing last night. So it should be interesting. I'm actually pulling everything up now, man.
What we were looking at was basically what we was looking at. Me and Corey was out here talking about it. Because the track just, to me, it doesn't look the same. And then I looked it up in real life. They really did redo it, and I guess iRacing has rescanned it since then. Underwent a huge repave and revampment around 2017, 18, and whatnot. So that tells you how long since I've been at this track. But right now, been a good one. Guys out front, we're talking about it. Points night here tonight. Topside Tuesday. We crowned a champ there with Spangler in the late models here. We're going to crown one tonight. Don Gracie's the man's got a huge points lead. Wetzel's right there in second, trying to do everything he can. You got Hand there in fourth. Galanthi hanging on the fifth. So, Corey, I guess that kind of answers our question, man, as far as who's shifting, who ain't, and how to get around this place.
Yeah, definitely not. You know what? I feel like it used to be flatter as well.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking. There wasn't as much banking. Yeah. But do you think that way, Brandon?
I've never seen it outside of here. The first time I ran it was here.
Okay.
So,
You're telling your age, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, for what it's worth, the only other time I've ran this track is on a console game, so that doesn't count either.
But I'm with Corey. That's maybe what's throwing me off. I remember this place being flatter, and like they said, they redid it and everything, and it just doesn't look as. Although I'm not inside the truck, I mean, I'm just going off what we're seeing. They look pretty straight right now. We talk about, when I was talking about the shifting out here, you definitely want that. It's almost like road racing. When you shift going into turns, and when you get back on the throttle, the whole premise, and maybe I'm helping Corey out here when he wants to do his one-on-one, is you want that car to be going straight before you shift or get back fully on the throttle coming out of turn, because any other time you get yourself in trouble, and that applies even with even with over. So you definitely want these things straight before you try to pop that thing back in gear and get heavy back down on the throttle.
Yeah, definitely a lot of wheel hop here. I was watching a few others last night. Like I said, I was watching Garrett Means run the next gen car here, and the amount of wheel hop that the truck has compared to the next gen, it's actually like pretty impressive. So like I said, he was doing a lot of shifting. If you're not shifting, I would say you're not doing it right. But definitely want to be straight when you. Yeah.
I think Corey, to help you out there, man.
It did not help me out at all, Joe.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm trying to give you some secrets, maybe help you out a little bit and whatnot. Corey wants to do a one-on-one with me on the street stocks and dirt.
I said street stock on the asphalt. We're doing late model on dirt.
Right, well, that's what I'm talking about. Well, we got our season finale here tonight, Topside Tuesday. Check out all the information you need on c2crl.com. Been a good season so far. We got hometown heroes. We crowned champs in the Renegades, and the Rebels last night. Definitely you go back, check that out on Coast to Coast Racing Network here, because we're live tonight there too. On YouTube, and what's our network on Facebook, dirtfan.com. A little battle going on here around 5th place spots. You got Anthony and Clevenger. Kind of what this track is. You're going to pick them off one by one. A lot of major passing, because this is a tough place to pass.
Yeah, it really is. Especially on the. It just is all the way around. I think the only time you can pass is in turn one. I'm more interested to see what the tire wear looks like for those pitting, or for the not pitting, but for those shifting and those who aren't shifting.
Talk about pits, here we go. Sean Grace on pit road. If he gets, he's got to go full tires. I mean, you just called it right there, pit stop. So that, I don't know if that's early. That's about right here. I didn't check. Corey, what's the percentage we're looking at?
50% fuel. I'm not sure what fuel mileage
that's
is.
That's early then. I don't know, 75 lap.
Ish Cannon, you're smart.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll let you know here in a second.
I'm gonna say it's close, but yeah, he's definitely gonna go full tires here. But if he's only going 25 laps, and our leader's on pit road, so that's 26 laps. I mean, 27.
So one more stop after this at 50.
Thinking, yeah.
I'm showing. This can't be right. 40 laps on fuel.
Okay, but tires.
Yeah, tires might be the
tires might be the deciding factor. Give me 4 minutes and I'll tell you.
Okay. In 4 minutes. I mean, right now you see Hand, Clevenger, Gallant. I mean, actually the top 6 or top 5 have not pitted. Actually, Offit did go into the pits and got fuel on lap 6.
Coming in.
Galanty's coming in.
Oh, a little bit quick. Ooh. Had to slam on the brakes.
I don't think anybody's going 40 laps here. I don't even think anybody's going to try the 35 lap split in half. It looks to be maybe, if anything, 30 laps. Maybe.
Well, here comes Jason Hand. He's on the access road. So he's coming in. It'll take over to 29 past the line.
Yeah,
Clevenger's going to push it to
Let's
30.
say 30. 30's probably the pushing. If you watch the last night's race that I did, man, what a thriller. Two of the leaders ran out of gas. One ran out of gas leading and took the white flag. The second place truck that actually then ran out of gas in 3 and 4 and was able to hold on and win. So that was that's taking it to the last, possible moment. Levenger right now though, still out there at 30. And click 30.
Krupa's still out there as well.
I'm with you, Corey. I think it's tires more than the fuel. Can you handle tires? Obviously, this track here, you're going to fall off huge, and it looks like he's going to. You're going to fall off majorly, tire-wise. It's just a matter of how far out front you can get. Total pit stop time is 40-some seconds.
Put it this way, Hand pitted, and Clevenger barely got to the back end of Jason Hand there as he was pulling out of the pit road. And, Hand's just going to pull away here with Clevenger running maybe 36.9s at best. And we'll see what Jason Hand's
right
able
now
to
is
turn.
if he gets a caution, this game plan would only help if a caution, because right now you're just losing massive time.
And he's coming in.
Yeah, because you're just, the more you stay out at this point, your plan is just not going to work. Now, if he would have called a caution, that would have been a beautiful, beautiful pit strategy. So
I was going to say Gary off it, but
he did go 31 laps though.
Yeah, he'll take over to 32 here when he passes this line. And you got to be careful of the stairs right there on pit road. I don't know.
Still not enough. Here's the thing, course. Still not enough to go the entire distance. But get a couple cautions. He could come in and do a splash of fuel on one of those cautions if nobody comes in. And then if another one comes out, maybe save enough to take it to the end. Don't think about it. The problem is, I've always said, is that if we go another, let's say, I don't know, 10, 15 laps and a caution comes out, everybody's coming in the pit road. You would be crazy not to. But if, let's say, a caution come out now, I don't know how many would come in. To me, I still probably would, but yeah.
Well,
Would you come in?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Let's say if a caution comes out here within the next lap or two, by pitting, you're pretty much going to be able to make it all the way. So, if you don't come in, don't know what kind of strategy you're on. You're hoping maybe for a late race caution and whatnot. Then come through the field with tires. Doable.
Well, we're going to look at Sean Grace's lap time. He hits a 35.215 there. We'll see what Jack is able to click off after he gets around. Depends on what kind of lap time, because this is almost 6 lap difference, and Clevenger's a little bit slower actually, so.
Golden pitted on 26. Grace pitted on 25. Wetzel pitted on 26. Hand pitted on 28, so he's going to have the newer. You saw that last lap there, Grace was only, both of them ran 35s, but he ran a 46 to a 21 and a 22. Wow, so, Golden and Wetzel been identical, so I don't know if Grace is out there maybe trying to save some tire or fuel, but this goes back to that old saying, even though Goldner's that much faster, see just how hard it is to pass at this place. I think track position could trump if it's late enough. Let's say with maybe 5 or 3 laps to go, could trump the tires here because it's such a tough place to pass.
Absolutely. You see Goldner, he's really closing in on the back bumper of Sean Grace here.
And he is faster. Now, that last time, only a couple hundreds faster. Wetzel was there. I mean, your top four of 52, 50, 56, 56. I mean, those guys are right there. Look at this power move. Wow.
Oh my, Goldner going all for broke right there. Tried to get on the outside, not going to make it work. Sean Grace going to keep the lead as we get halfway point.
Yeah, and then right there with that move, that goes to show you that, Grace is not giving up that inside lane. He's like, look, I don't care. You might be faster and faster. Right there, that truck got a little tight. Goldner tried on the inside. I don't know, is Goldner thinking about, he got the inside of him that time.
Well, I think Grace thought about going for the block, but Goldner was pretty consistent on staying tucked up on the back bumper. I think he was fixing to move him out of the way.
Well, I was about to say that. Could he bump and run? A little bit faster track to do it. I think they're a little bit. It's going to be more dangerous to do it that way at this place. But now we're going to see if Goldner can walk away. Grace going to hold right there in his tire tracks. Wetzel's right back here in third. Decent hand. He's hanging out back here. He's in fourth. Galante here back. He's got the blue machine. A bait or whatever you call it. Back in fifth. Never heard of that before. The corn made. Fishing or something?
I mean, it's New York. It looks like a beer, but it is a beer, I think.
Is it bait? I was about to say Labatt Blue or
Labatt Blue?
Never heard of it. Oh, it looks like a Canadian-based thing. Okay.
It's yeah.
I just saw the Canadian flag on. All right, so it's a Canadian. That's why.
It looks like Canadian Bud Light.
Roger probably. Nobody want to care about that brand name anymore.
It was nice talking to y'all. I'll see y'all. I won't see y'all next season because
nobody wants to talk about that brand name. Come on, man. Roger out here probably going, look, guys, I'll be drinking that stuff sometimes. Hopefully he's not drinking it right now while he's racing. No, Roger last week there, and Brandon, you saw it, man. He was all happy because he got top three.
He was, man. Roger worked it last week, man. It was really cool to see him do what he did last week, man. And I was, like I had said, before, watched Roger come from last place and being all over the track to running that top three.
74 years old. That's the impressive part. The man, 74,
absolutely.
Out here racing, having fun. I guess that alludes to the 747. I always say jumbo jet, but that's impressive. I give him credit, man. Come out here, race, can hold it with the young guy.
Absolutely.
Does that mean 757 next year?
Well, you know what? Gotta ask him that one time. Yeah, is that when you get 75, you're gonna up your number every year? Which he's had 747 the last year or so, maybe not.
So I will say,
jumbo jet. I do know the Salty Dog is actually it's a race team that is comprised of the senior members. That's how they put it. And I'm not sure what they consider senior members. Obviously, 74 definitely is going to put you in that category.
Got me.
It's anybody. It's like probably 60, 62. But they do have a lot of guys in here that are 55, in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. He gave me a list of the drivers there and whatnot, but it's interesting. That's where the Salty Dog comes from. Obviously, Salty Dog Caution and whatnot, and Salty Dog Race Team. So, I Roger out here, he runs the league here at Coast to Coast Racing League. He's done a great job. He gets out here and does the dirt, and my hat's off to him for wheeling that thing. I don't know if he's got. You know what, guys? I can't imagine he might having a direct drive wheel and manhandling that thing. Because y'all know anything. Well, I know y'all know about it, but if anybody knows anything about the direct drive wheels, those things have got some force to them.
Do you have direct drive, Joe or Brandon?
No, I don't. I've got my old faithful Thrustmaster that I've had for a long time. It's in the tree. I do have load cell pedals.
I just upgraded. a couple weeks ago. I just upgraded to the direct drive. Got my load cells, got my TCLs or TLCs or whatever they are. But I got the Moza R5.
That's a good one.
Just purchased it, and it's. I thought it was gonna make me faster by a long shot. It didn't.
All right, well, let's touch on that just for a second. I want to get off topic of the race. There has been guys in the Pro Series that have had G27s, 29s, and all. There's a lot of guys in iRacing that are in the pro level that don't even run with force feedback. I have heard the exact same thing you've said. But the number one thing I have heard, pedals. A awesome set of pedals will definitely help you get faster before a high-end wheel will. And it makes sense because throttle control, braking, and I know somebody said, well, we don't do a lot of braking in oval. Do more than you think. But the throttle control, it is another thing. I've been able to feel that and so forth. So, yeah, it's interesting you say what you said. True, you're going to get that immersive feeling with the direct drive. By all means, if you've got people got the money, get one. But don't expect you to like, oh, yeah, now I'm going to just be super fast.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly was. That was the first thing that we kind of touched base on with the crew that I run with was we all came from console over to iRacing over the last 3 years, and I started off on the G29, I think, and the pedals were just like I was like, all right, I gotta get new pedals, and everybody was like, get load cell, get the Thrustmaster load cell. And as soon as I got those, man, it changed everything. And then I went to Thrustmaster, and I've had the Thrustmaster T300 for 2 years now, or I had it for 2 years, and it's a huge difference. Then I went back to running my brother's pitting again.
Yeah, Grace.
Grace is. I mean, he pitted there on 25 or
A little early?
well, I guess he's looking at the fact of
Trying to short pit him, Mike.
Yeah, short pit, maybe.
Might hit the wall there.
if that thing wings. Yeah, press on pit strategy. Let's see what anybody else's does. But just concluding what you're talking about there is now with pedal technology and hydraulics out there and advanced load cell. To me, if I was to tell a person, and I'm no expert on it, but from what I've heard and read and seen, if you was going to make one upgrade, I would say get a high-end set of pedals. If you wanted to really feel a difference in your driving, and then upgrade the wheel. I know a lot of people are like, well, believe me, if you're still sitting on even a basic set of load cells, going from a high-end pedal set is night and day. From all the reviews, from everybody I've talked to, as opposed to, yes, the wheel, but that pedal set will definitely help you in how to control that truck. Because we talk about brake bias a lot. Well, there you go. What does that entail? Braking and being able, how much force and brakes you put on and how much gas and stuff and all. So it has nothing to do with steering. It has all to do with those pedals. So if I had to give advice to somebody, yeah, but again, if you got the money, hey, go all out. Get it all.
Well, for sure, man. Not to plug sim seats in here in Richmond, but sim seats, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, if you got the money to spend, hey, by all means. But if you was like, hey, look, I got the money to spend on one piece of equipment, and you're coming from, let's say, a G29 or like say a TS300 or something like that, look, keep your wheel right now and go with a high-end set of pedals. And when I say high-end, I mean I'm talking $600-700 set of high-end pedals, and put the money there, and then go for that wheel. I guarantee you're going to feel a huge difference. Huge difference.
Absolutely.
Looks like Wetzel's out front. And this one, Hand comes second. That's interesting, that pit strategy, because Clevenger, looks like Grace and Goldner both came in at 48 and 49.
Clevenger's coming in now.
Well, I thought Clevenger. No, actually, Clevenger, remember, he pitted at lap 31. I'm not sure about his pit strategy yet on what he's thinking out here. Wetzel, 23 to go. Maybe they're thinking track position is more important.
I mean, all intensive purposes, look at the battle between Goldner and Grace. They are going to kill each other.
Well, I think, that was good content. Well, that was a heck of a save by Grace right there. I mean, they're thinking probably track position. And I got to give a nod to that because I'm with them. I think that once everybody else pits, even though they might be on newer tires, if they can get far enough out, they're just going to run out of time trying to race them down, unless they don't quit doing what they're doing out there now. But you know,
I mean, they keep running like they've been running the past couple of laps. I'm not sure it's going to make a huge difference in Wetzel getting back up to him at least.
Yeah, well, you got Wetzel coming on pit road right now. So let's see when he comes out of the pits, how far. I mean, if we're talking 10 seconds, let's just throw out a number, 10-second difference here. It probably will be.
Yeah, they passed.
Maybe more. With only right now 22 laps to go, Wetzel might not have enough time to run them down. That might have been that thinking process there. Right now they're up to 6, 7. Might not get to 8. It might be okay. We'll have to see. Like it's going to stay around 7.6. Let's see how much more faster he is on these newer tires. He's only got about, 5 more laps newer?
Yeah,
like
just
a lot,
about 5 or so.
Sound like a lot.
His hand is in, and Clevenger, he's still staying out. I expect Clevenger to probably go to at least lap 60.
The problem is Wetzel at this point, if he wants to have a chance to get up here to these guys, he needs seconds knocked off time-wise. I mean, a half second, 6, 7 tenths, not going to do it. He's going to run out of time. He needs seconds, probably a couple seconds faster. And I just don't think those tires, could be wrong, are that much faster. What do you think, Brendan?
When I was running because I ran a couple laps, and the fall off was pretty significant. It's the newer tires are
34.88 to 35.18. At 35.18 is not going, or to a 34.88 is not going to cut it. Maybe the 36 time right there, where Grace was, But 35.18, 34.88, and I know everybody's like, well, Joe, that's still faster, but it's not enough. He needs seconds. He needs, I'm going to say at least 2 seconds here right off the bat.
Yeah, not tenths. He needs seconds. And then that's.
Especially with only, we got 18 to go, 19 to go. That will click off fast at this track. Real fast. Now, caution might mess up this whole stretch.
Yeah, caution right now that would help out Jack Clevenger, who's trying to stretch it out as far as he can. All intensive purposes, he ain't going to be in the lead.
You know what's crazy? Look at his time there, guys.
I know.
He ran a 36.80, even though Goldner on the newer tires running 35.40. That's what, just a little over a second time. So the fall off of his tires are not that bad. I mean, he's thinking, and if I could get a caution now would be ideal. Go in, get pits, new tires, etc.
You're looking at a 2-second fall off almost when you look at it. Well, when you eyeball it out right now.
80, man, come on now. Where's your math?
It's like a second and a half.
35.40 to a 36. Well, that time it was a 36. He fell off.
Yeah.
But the 36.80. But then again, Goldner just went 35.50. So he's staying within about a second and about a second and a half. Let's just give or take. Second and a half is what it is. Now, the more Clevenger, like you said, runs, yes, he's going to use those tires up. My thing is Grace is just not making up anything. And I don't think Wetzel's going to have enough. And he's down to 5 seconds on Goldner. I think he can catch Grace, but he'll have a hard time with Goldner.
Yeah, and Sean Grace has a little bit of damage on the left front there. You see a little bit on the hood.
This line's got took the wall.
Hand up in the wall, my.
Oh, yeah, he got a lot. Go back here on the replay. No caution because he got on pit road. He's got a Malcolm Mills caution. See what happened. No caution here, but looks like he was. No, looks like it. That truck just got out from under him. He slams the wall, and I am surprised. Well, he did go it real quick, but I am. It's another one of those head scratchers.
Old Barney.
Yeah, one of those. Where'd the flag man go? Did he go to the restroom and get a hot dog? Because I'm surprised that was not a caution because he did a huge right turn right into the wall. Spun it out on the track, but we've seen this a couple times, haven't we, Corey? The parameters on short tracks. For some reason, iRacing has got it off. I remember one time we watched the race there at Corey Winter with. They almost went they went like almost a lap before they threw the caution. There was cars sitting all over the place.
Yeah, and that was in Martinsville.
Yeah, it was like I was like, really? Wow, come on. Where's the caution going to be? Here comes the leaders, and sure enough, boom, right there. And I think they've got the parameters off just a little bit on these short tracks. We've seen it time and time again.
I wouldn't consider this much of a short track, but it's a narrow track. I think it's
it's
1.25.
So that was the conversation that we were having, right? So is this a short track or is this an intermediate track?
If it's 125, then I wouldn't consider it a short track. I consider it, to me personally, and I know there's always this conversation on it, anything a mile or less is a short track. All right, I know everybody says, well, they're 3/4 of it. All right, fine, because I consider Dover, consider Richmond.
What about Darlington?
New Hampshire?
How big is it?
Bigger than this.
Bigger than this?
I'm saying, I wouldn't consider that a short track. So on me. So
It's
I didn't
a
realize this track
narrow
was that
track.
big. I didn't realize that. I thought maybe this track was a mile, maybe less than a mile. I didn't realize it was 1.25. So that's where. Now, has it always been yes, it has always been a 1.25. Matter of fact, when I was reading that info, when was I got that info? Because I think they did have that in there.
Yeah, it's a 1.25.
They completely removed it from the 1.25 mile oval. Okay. Kept it that way. They just did the surface. Wildest thing is they've had Indy cars racing.
Oh, the forbidden word. Oh, there goes the monetization of this.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Yeah, it stayed 1.25. It has obviously has a Motorsport Park Gateway, has the quarter mile drag strip, 5 mile super speedway, and a 1.6 mile road course, and a state of the art go-karting facility, and a 14-acre multi-purpose dirt off-road.
Wait, what?
It's a whole.
What?
When it says Motorsport Park, they mean it.
There's
it's
an
a whole
off-road
park.
track. Hold on.
That's what it says. I don't know if there's any official things run there, but
I see the drag strip.
yeah, and I know about I know about Gateway's drag strip and whatnot. But so when they say Gateway Motorsport Park, I mean, heck, they mean it. It's a park. And Goldner has went back out front here, leading. He's got about a 3-second lead. Wetzel has run down Grace. Kind of figured he would. And the next one is, I think he's just going to run out of time running down Goldner up front. But man, I tell you what, Goldner, we only got 4 cars on the lead lap from what I'm showing.
So what's interesting right here is your points battle. Your points battle, while it's not, I mean, Grace has taken it.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, you got Wetzel on the wall there.
Yeah. I mean, Grace right now, as long as he finishes this race where he's at, he's going to come out of this the champ. Wetzel's done everything he can. We were talking about that early on. Grace would pretty much have to probably fall out the race at this. And still, even with only 11 cars, I think still
He's safe.
He's safe, even with that. And unfortunately, Dole Lawrence out there having to leave. Just found out that his cousin passed away. Hate to hear that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we want to keep thoughts and prayers. So definitely, we understand why he's not. He had to leave and disconnect and whatnot. So, but like I say, Goldner's doing what he needs to do, win this thing. Brandon, I was talking with Corey earlier. One thing, man, that I don't like seeing is guys out here, if they're fast enough, just because guys are racing for championships on the last race, man, race them. Make them pass you, make them get around you. I mean, don't want to wreck them or anything, but don't just roll over. I've seen that time and time again, and it looks like Goldner, man, he wants to win this thing.
Yeah, and to an extent, like, I agree with you. If you're, I don't know, it's hard. If you're laps
slower
down,
than them, that's one thing. But if you're as fast as those guys, I'm not moving out the way just because you're in a point.
yeah. I'm running to win the race. I'm not running for points, right? I mean, like Kyle Busch in the Truck Series. I'm not. He's willing to. He wants to win the race. He doesn't want to run for points.
I'm not going to wreck you. I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize you.
I might bump you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, move it out of the way, and I have seen that, unfortunately, as just, they're out there and they have the fastest car on the track, and guess what? Oh, well, here comes the points leader. Let me just move over for him. Come on now. What's wrong with you?
Is that points manipulation? I mean, I'm just
well, I guess it could be. Some leagues, they take it differently. I don't know how they do it here coast to coast. I guess they probably frown upon it. I would if I was a league owner. NASCAR supposedly supposed to, but they're wishy-washy on that thing too. It's your word to use. I am glad, I don't want to get too far off the subject, but I am glad that they stayed consistent on the penalty that they did this past race.
Oh, come on, Joe.
600. Well, I mean, they stayed consistent.
You just lost all the viewers.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. Look, I mean, I get it. You don't like it, but it is. At least they did, and I think their hand was forced on that situation because fans brought that up. Anyway, that's for another conversation.
Another conversation.
Another conversation. It definitely does show consistency on their part. So there you go. As a precedence was shown, and I'm old school, man. I remember races in the day where I don't know. I'm gonna tell my age again here, but I remember the Charlotte Coca-Cola All-Star race, where I think it was Kyle Petty, Stern, Davey Allison straight to the wall. Hit hard. There was no safety barriers at the time then, so you looked that one up back in the day, way back early 90s. And
it'll be on VHS.
Yeah, probably back then. Yeah. So, but the precedence was brought out last year when they did suspend driver over that. So I think it was a force of hand there. And but it takes us back to what we were talking about here. You're right. You don't want to step out and manipulate anything in a race for a driver or anything like that. It could be frowned upon. And so it's good to see Goldner out here doing what he's doing. He's the fastest truck, obviously. He's definitely out here trying to win. Wants to win. You got Grace here doing what Grace is doing what he needs to do to get a championship. Stay in second.
Yeah, and this they got what, 2 to go here. Goldner's got a 3.5 second lead.
There's no way. And I thought maybe Wetzel was going to get around on Grace with those newer tires, but again, I take it back to sometimes track position is king, and kind of proved the point here.
Oh, absolutely. The track position was king as our white flag last time for the trucks in this spring season for Topside Tuesday.
Yeah, here we go. Mission 22, Lucy Olson, green flag, and the checkered about to fly here for the final time for the Topside Tuesday here. Been an outstanding season. That man, Stephen Goldner, he's in 3 and 4. It looks like as long as he does not put it in the wall or nothing, he is going to win this here tonight at Gateway. And Sean Grace is going to finish her off in second. What a good, phenomenal finish and bring home the championship. Brad Wetzel did everything he could. He comes home with a top 3 to crown himself there, second in points. What a good finish. What a good way to cap this season off here for the Topside Tuesday. As we'll definitely get a word with those 3 guys in just a few. As man, that was awesome. This season has been a good one. These guys out here poured their heart out to everything they can and anything, and We've seen some up and downs when it comes to trucks, wildness when it comes to late models. We still got a couple more to go. We got Hometown Heroes tomorrow, and Infinity Series, and not sure what else. I think Big Blocks is modifies is what they run on Thursday. Like I say, go check out C2CRL.com. I'm going to give you all the information, everything you need to know about the league, everything you need to know. Find Goldner, Grace, and what? Don't see him in the in here, so I was have to wait for him.
Well, that was a pretty good race. 75 laps. They kept
Better
it.
than I thought it would be on
green.
I mean, I won't take nothing away from these guys. Better than I thought it would probably be Gateway because it's a tough track. But I guess with the remodel, it's even better. But let's bring up third place man here, Corey. You want to get a word with him?
Sure. Hey, Brad, you got a copy on me?
Yeah, I did.
Well, you were able to set pole here at Gateway, but unfortunately going to round it out in third. Just talk us through that race.
Yeah, I got to run some laps with some teammates. They were pretty quick on the long run. I think tires and pit strategy came into play, and you just had to be on the right path.
Absolutely. And we've seen drivers shifting. Do you think that played a big role in how the tires worn down?
Yeah, I think 1 and 2 to get through there, the key was to shift right in the center and get her wood down, but 3 and 4, I don't know, it seemed you could kind of get away either way. Sometimes I would, sometimes I wasn't.
Either way, man, you're able to hang in there for third. You're going to come home second in the points. You got anybody you like to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank all the guys at Vanderbilt. It's always fun racing. Thank you guys for being in the booth. It's always a joy to watch race afterwards. We check it out on Wednesdays usually and when we're in the shop. Thanks to Roger and everyone for putting on the league.
Yeah, folks, that's your third place driver in 43, Brad Wetzel.
Absolutely. Well, let's bring the man up who won it here and let you get a word with him.
Hey, Steven, you get a copy on me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you're able to pick up the win here at Gateway, final race of the season. Just talk us through how you were able to accomplish that.
Yeah, just kind of having a smooth race there. It was fun racing with Sean and Brad, for most of the race. They're a lot of fun, Moonen's buddies. Too bad Moonen couldn't be here tonight, but yeah, a lot of fun racing with those guys, good and clean, a little bit of rubbing and everything there late in the race, but it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It's always nice to see some good hard racing, some contact, but either way, man, you got anybody like to thank tonight for your outstanding win?
Yeah, I got to thank all the guys at Vanderbilt for a good season. Hopefully we finish pretty good in points. Velocity Race Designs, Moon Racing Engines, Fits Perfect Photography, you guys for the broadcast, Sean and Brad for, joining us in Discord this season and having a lot of fun.
Yeah, folks, it's your race winner in the number 30, Stephen Goldner.
Absolutely. Well, this man right here, he caps it off here tonight. Championship. Sean, join the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Well, you did everything you could to maybe get up there and win. Goldner just had the class of the field tonight, but you had to battle with Wetzel. Coming into the race, though, what was your mentality to keep that points lead?
Not wrecking one. I knew I just really needed to finish top 3. I thought I'd be a little faster here, but Goldner and Brad were both a little bit faster than me. I just made it real tough on them.
Well, I'll tell you what, you was able to hang on to it, come out of here, put it in, a championship here, had a great season for the Topside Tuesday. Now, Gateway, how did you feel about this track? I mean, the last time I drove it, pretty treacherous style track, but how was it feeling for you tonight?
It was really tough. Goldner had the egg under the pedal a little bit better than I did coming out of 2. I kept getting loose out of 2 and burning up the right rear, and then I just kept hurting myself worse and worse and tried to beat him on pit strategy, short pitting them, but they just Golden definitely just had too much speed, and Brad had more speed than me, but I was able to fight him off a little bit.
Well, they can't take it away. You're the champ here in the Topside Tuesday, Lucy Olson, and the Mission 22 Truck Series. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the Vanderbilt boys. They always welcome me and Brad in there. Thanks to you guys for the broadcasts. They're always fun to watch later. Roger Craig, Chapman, he puts in a lot of time to make this run smooth, and pretty cool to go off end the season with a full green flag race.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. Champ tonight, Topside Tuesday into pickup trucks. Well, guys, what a wild one. What a way to cap this one off here, Corey. It was an awesome season for the Topside Tuesday. It's going to be even more greater on the Hometown Heroes tomorrow night, but what a wild one.
Absolutely. It was pretty good. The late models ran good. I do believe we only had one caution, both the late model and the truck. So good job by all these race drivers out there.
Well, folks, I tell you what, tune in tomorrow night. We got Hometown Heroes. We got some more champs to crown then. But for ourselves and everyone here at the Coast to Coast Racing League, everyone have a good night.